And they actually kind of got me thinking, interestingly, about a particular aspect of the FNAF lore. So if you're familiar with FNAF, you'll know there's a thing in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe known as, obviously, Springlock suits. Basically, I think if you're not familiar with FNAF, essentially what they are is there's this thing in the FNAF lore about how, sort of like in the 70s or the 80s or whenever, in the earliest iterations of the Freddy Fazbear franchise, there were these sort of animatronic performers, animatronic robots, which were designed so that they could also be used as wearable costumes by human entertainers. But I think sort of like the story is that these wearable costumes, they have these things in them called springlocks, which are sort of like components that in the Battington tapes are sort of explained as being components that are meant to kind of support the weight of the animatronic components of the suit. And in order for a human performer to actually wear one of these costumes when taking it out of animatronic mode, they have to sort of use like a hand crank to wind all the spring locks into, well, basically into a safety position, so that then they can literally climb into the suit and wear it. But the lore basically is that these sort of springlock suits are actually very dangerous, because it's like the slightest pressure on the spring locks can cause them to actually basically reactivate, spring back into place while the human performer is still wearing the suit, and thus impale the human performer inside the suit and kill them. Which is pretty grim, you know? But, you know, it is a horror franchise and all that, so it's to be expected. But the thing is, like, you know, part of the lore, obviously, of Five Nights at Freddy's is that obviously there's a murderer who has been killing children. Spoilers. And the idea is that what this murderer would do is he would take the bodies of his victims, the children he kills, and he would shove them into the animatronic performers as a way of trying to hide the corpses. But what that often meant was that the animatronics themselves end up becoming haunted by the ghosts of the murder victims, which is a, you know, straightforward, unique concept. But the thing is, I think it's FNAF 3, the third game, where the Springlock animatronic design is actually first introduced as a concept in the franchise. And I think I remember from watching Markiplier's playthrough of it, wasn't there like a thing... Obviously there's a thing in the story that the actual murderer who killed a lot of the children was at one point attacked by the ghosts of the kids he'd killed after he tried to dismantle the animatronics he'd used as hiding places for the corpses. And in order to try and escape them, he climbed into a springlock suit, and on top of that he'd used a springlock suit actually during the murders, presumably. But in trying to escape from the ghosts, he'd accidentally triggered the springlocks and basically it had killed him. But I could have sworn that in FNAF 3 there was a moment, sort of like wasn't there not like a telephone conversation or something that happens in that game where there's a reference to an incident involving the springlock suits that may not be a reference to the murderer being killed after trying to wear one of them? Was that not a thing? I'm sure anybody who knows the FNAF lore can probably tell me. So, one would assume that the murderer being killed by a springlock suit might not have been the first time that someone put one on and was at the very least injured by one of them. But that raises a question, you know, if there are previous employees of this Fazbear franchise who died after having an accident with these springlock suits, then that begs a kind of question, because all the ghosts who possess animatronics in FNAF, they're always the ghosts of child murder victims. But what about adult ghosts? Is that a thing that can happen in FNAF? For example, you know, if you had just an innocent Freddy Fazbear employee who put on one of the springlock suits, not knowing how dangerous it was, and then, you know, an accident happened. He was basically impaled alive inside the suit and effectively bled out and died. Would that employee's ghost potentially possess that animatronic? Is that a thing that can happen in the FNAF universe? Because if it is, I'd be curious to know if the FNAF franchise has ever touched on that, because admittedly, you know, I'm au fait with the lore, but I suppose there are people out there like, you know, GT Live and other YouTubers probably, who probably are way bigger experts in the FNAF lore than I am. And so maybe at some point the franchise has touched on this idea of an animatronic haunted by the ghost of an adult victim as opposed to a child one. And would that result in the possessed animatronic behaving any differently? That kind of thing. But just from my own knowledge, I feel like it's something that the FNAF franchise hasn't really engaged with or answered at any point. So I wonder if there's ever been, like a FNAF game or anything like that, or a FNAF bit of fan content that's ever asked that question, explored what would happen if that was indeed the case. Who knows? Right, I think we're going to have to head back to Central Island here. We've only got about 16 minutes, just over, remaining, and I still haven't found a farm building, which is slightly annoying, because of course I need one of these buildings to secure any points, and I've got 0 points so far, which is not good. What can you do? I'll reload this bad boy. Let me look at the map. Okay, so we probably want to head sort of in this direction. Watch as we find that this map I've generated has basically no farm buildings on it. I really should have actually made one of the rules. If not a farm building, use a barn instead, since that's technically a type of farm building. But what can you do? It's one of these things that I always forget to think about before I actually start recording. Drink more tea whilst I'm at it. Well, if we come away with 0 points, we come away with 0 points. Not much we can do about that. But at least we've had some interesting conversations so far. If this doesn't, if this proves to be a bit of a dud of it, wait a fucking minute, there's a farm building right there! Oh, there was always one on the centre island and I just bloody missed it, apparently. That's an irritation, that is. Right, well, we could probably start scoring a few points. Oh, take that extra dynamite. Can always use it. Quickly killing some enemies if we have to. Alright, well, here we are. The grumpy farmer has finally arrived, ladies and gentlemen. And he's about to get annoyed at robots being too near his bloody farm. Walking through his damn fields and all that. Let me just discard that. Eat Stilton. Right, you bastards. I'm going to see if I can... Where's my bottles? Do I not have... Oh, I don't have any empty bottles. Well, I'll get drunk first. Then I'll use a bottle in a second to bring some guys over. We only have 14 minutes and 10 seconds just over remaining. So I don't think we're going to get many points this challenge, but that's fine. As long as we get at least a couple, we can say we were sort of successful. Right, take that. Let's bring them over here. Maybe I should put on a West Country voice for this moment of the challenge. What you ones be doing on my ear farm then? With your air shotguns? Is that a West Country accent? It's about as close as I think I'm going to get. Alright, that's one down. Of course, quite a few of them around here. Oh, he's running away. That's not good. Let them come to me. Oh. Come over here, boys. Come on down to Funny Farm. I got some buckshot with your name on it there, mister. I'm gonna blast you in the face. Oh. That's 2 points. Hang on, let me just tot that up. 2 points because 2 of them we've killed. Killing these here trespassers on the farm. I think he said trespasser then. Oh. 3 points. God, these here yobbos coming onto my friggin... Oh. You shoot at me, you beggar. Well, he got an out. Neither has he. Oi! There we go, that's 4 points. 4 whole points, ladies and gentlemen. How pro I am. Oh, there's a bit of shotgun ammo there, that's fine. Thank you for that. Just take the mints across as well. Take the blackberries. Stop him sparking, so I can tell which bodies are fully raided. Oh. If only I had a torch as well. But I don't, which is slightly irritating. Right, well at the very least we've got some points in this particular challenge. Not very many, but we might just be able to accumulate a few more before we end up having to wrap things up. Still got, what, 12 minutes and 5 seconds? Still a bit of time. What do you think of my West Country accent before, ladies and gentlemen? Was it any good? What's your favourite UK accent, folks? Do you like a good West Country, you know, farmerish voice? Do you prefer a Geordie or a Londoner? Oh, hey man, Geordie-like. Let's see. Perhaps you prefer someone from Liverpool who's a Scouser, maybe. Maybe prefer someone with an accent like mine, from up Lancashire way. Something like that. Or maybe you prefer someone who has a southern accent. Slightly more refined, bit of a received pronunciation. Well, that's enough of that topic then, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know where else to go with that one. Anyway, always forget that they've got the big robot symbol on the back of this pillar here. Oh, right. Should also pay attention to the robots, who are all coming. Oh, you there, you dirty trespassers! Get off my air farm! It is my land! I'll come in my tractor and my combine harvester, and I'll mow thee down. Oh, hey, oh, eat. Where are you going? Get a bit of trouble, don't they, shooting me over that wall. There's literally a gap right there. You could literally come over here and get me. Come on. Come on round. Right, that's another one. That's 5. Wait for him, wait for him. Right, he's scared off for now. That's fine. That's 6. And you. Oh, never mind. You didn't die. Hold on. You're not getting away that easily, Sonny. 7. Right, let me just top that up. 5, 6, 7. Go on, can we get at least 10 points here? Where's the other one? Oh, there he is. Hey! You were running away before there, like a little coward. That's 8 points. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lee. Alright, you got any good ammo on you and all that? You haven't. Discard all your stuff. Show me the money. Show me what you got. There we go, that's better. Where's the other one? There he is. He wasn't that far out. I could still snipe him from where I was. Ooh. A bit of gas going up my throat from my tea. There we go. At least killing, you know, hunters actually does replenish our ammo somewhat. Right, so we've got 8 points. It's pretty good, pretty good. We're doing alright. You know, there's a freaking scarecrow off over there. Wonder if we could lure him over here towards the farm, generate some noise that might pull over a few more bots. Come on this way, buddy. I want to get your attention. Thought for a second I heard a rider. Hey, dude. What's up? Alright, bring him over. Bring him this way. Yeah. Come on over. See, I'm not just a grumpy farmer, I'm a murderous farmer. Luring people in. Oh, what's that? You're trespassing on my land? Yeah, didn't like that now, did you? God damn, 4 shots to take out a bloody scarecrow. At least it's 9 points. Even at close range. Oh, there's a rider in the distance who's coming up to me. You're alright there, bud? The answer is, not really. Axe. Spooky pumpkin. You know, come to think of it, it is October as I'm going to record this. Halloween will be coming at the end of the month. And I absolutely love the fact that I live in an apartment and I don't live on the ground floor, because that means I don't get bothered by trick-or-treaters. What's your favourite Halloween monster, ladies and gentlemen? You a fan of a good zombie or a vampire? A werewolf? A witch? Something else? Do you go to Halloween parties where everyone dresses up, including loads of people dressed up as things that are not really scary, but it's an excuse to dress up anyway? So you do it? You know, as a kid, I don't think I ever really remember going to any Halloween parties. I don't really have any memories actually either of going trick-or-treating. I'm sure I probably did as a kid, but I just don't remember. Interesting. I mean, having said that, I think me and Phil have talked about this before, haven't we? So I should probably not be entirely repeating something that we've discussed previously. But like I say, no, I just don't have any memories of it. It might just be, one of those things where, much like anything else in your childhood, eventually, the memory just fades away into the mists of time. It happened, you just don't remember it. Drink up my tea. Having said that, actually, if we're speaking about Halloween, a topic that, I haven't talked about before, what's everyone's favourite Halloween movie? Or film, as we say here in the UK. Any particular ones, ladies and gentlemen, that really stand out to you? Ones that you just really, really enjoy? And, you just find yourself rewatching, potentially, every time Halloween rolls around? I'm trying to think myself about all the horror movies I've ever watched, and honestly, there aren't that many of them. Because, again, me and Phil have sort of talked about it before, how we aren't really movie people. We're very much video gamers. Having said that, now that I've discovered where my nearest cinema is, I could very well see myself taking advantage of it a bit more often, going and seeing a few more movies. Thing is, there's Never Let Go, which is going on at the cinema at the moment, being shown, starring Halle Berry, I think, which is basically, I think it's like a psychological horror, isn't it? It's about a mother and two children who sort of like, they're in like this, I think it's like a cabin or a house in the woods, but something weird is happening. It's like they can't, whenever they go outside, they always like tie a rope between each other because they're afraid that something will snatch them away into the woods. I'm pretty sure that's, still showing at the moment, so maybe that's a film to go watch at some point. Hey guy, wait, come here. Going over this way, buddy. I'm going to try taking out a rider. That's what I'm going to do. Where are you going? Oi. Yeah, a bit of trouble pathing there, buddy. This is going to use up all my bloody ammo, this is. Can't do shit, buddy. Ooh! Jesus. I think he glitched on that friggin' post there. It was momentarily flying in midair. Good lord. It was a bit terrifying, and with that I've kind of used all my shotgun ammo, but I've got myself to 10 points. That's the important part. Kind of wasted a bit of shotgun ammo there, really, trying to like shoot him at distance. I should have tried to lure him a bit closer. Yes. Anyway, horror movies. So Never Let Go, I may go and see at the cinema, provided I get an opportunity to do so, and I'm not feeling too under the weather. But thinking what other horror movies potentially could one watch. What's that movie actually at the moment? I think it is showing at the cinema. Is it called The Substance? Again, sort of like a psychological / body horror one that apparently has got everyone talking. Because apparently it's like real extreme body horror. Maybe that's an option. Has anyone seen any of these movies that I'm referring to at the moment? Does anybody know? Has anybody seen them? Are they any good? Are they not for the faint-hearted? Or are they completely ridiculous and not worth seeing? Because that also could be an answer, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of a movie, not a horror one, which I was sort of curious about potentially seeing at the cinema, but now I'm not so sure. I may have mentioned it in other videos. Megalopolis by Francis Ford Coppola. I was thinking about maybe seeing that one, but then again I've seen some mixed reviews of it recently. Some people saying it's not that great, and other people saying it's kind of manic, and if you're going to enjoy it, you have to kind of go in there from the mindset of someone who's completely high. But yeah, I'm now undecided about that one, whether I want to go and see it at the movies or not. At the cinema even. But no, Never Let Go and possibly The Substance, they remain possibilities, ladies and gentlemen. Now talk about Lee, the biopic of Lee Miller, the photojournalist lady from World War II, who documented some of the crimes of the Nazis at Buchenwald. Because I went and saw that movie about a week or two ago, and it was decent actually. I didn't mind it. I thought it was good, enjoyable enough. Okay, we're in sort of like the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm probably not going to score any more points now, but that's fine. Just going to keep wittering about films. So I saw Lee at the cinema, and that was awesome. I liked it. It was a decent sort of emotional little film to watch, especially like the little sort of twist ending, which admittedly, the twist doesn't come as a surprise. I think I sort of predicted it just before it happened, but still enjoyed it. Not every twist in a story has to come out of the blue and take you by surprise. In fact, sometimes some of the most rewarding twists are when, you're sort of building up in your mind a bunch of clues, things that you're picking up on in the story, but you're not quite sure, but you think, okay, well, if I piece these clues together, does this mean that, this could be a possibility, X or Y? And then, the story confirms it. You're like, oh, hell yeah, I got it. That can always be quite fun as well. So yeah, if you get the opportunity to see Lee, it's worth a watch. It stars Kate Winslet, ladies and gentlemen. It's very much an adult film, because yes, there's technically nudity in it, and strong language, and obviously violent scenes, so not something you'd show to kids. But it's good. It's good, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good one to watch on the big screen. So yeah, in short, definitely going to be visiting my cinema again at some point. I was scrolling through their film listings recently, obviously apart from things like Never Let Go and The Substance, they had loads of other films that I just wasn't really interested in, like a lot of kids' films. Bluey does this, Bluey does that, and then, other things like rom-coms, stuff like that, but I'm not really interested in those. So yes, if there's a good film on something that maybe might appeal to me, then perhaps I'll go and see it. Thing is, I'm tempted to see Never Let Go, just because if it is a sort of psychological horror, then it might be the sort of horror that's more up my alley. Because obviously I'm not big on like gory slasher horror. That's not my thing. I just think it's massively overdone. But psychological horror, if done well, that's the thing that really gets me and can really appeal to me. Right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are done, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, thank you, dismiss that. That's our 45 minutes up, and we scored 10 points, so not a very high score, but, well, we got to double digits at least. That's the important thing. This grumpy farmer killed about 10 trespassers on his land. He got the old double barrel out and gave some buckshot to the frigging townies wandering through his fields and all. So I hope you enjoyed that little challenge. It's been good to come back and do another challenge, because for a while I've been racking my brains about what to do for my next Sir episode. Because I was thinking, what would be a good topic for a podcast style episode? But then I thought, come on, let's do a challenge. Let's not just do another generic me wandering around in the world of Sir with that as a backdrop whilst I just ramble about boring topics or whatever. So hopefully this was a bit more enjoyable for you. Alright, social media links and Propagandist channel link are down below as always in the video description if you're interested. If you enjoyed, a like's of course always appreciated. But than that, I'll sign off now and I'll see you next time, everybody. Goodbye all. Are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? You are different. You've beelining for me. You're like you're trying. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I know I remember playing this game. Oh my god, is he genuinely just coming for me? What's this fucking deal? What's wrong with you? That kind of felt like he was actually trying to come for me.